my most precious, device that I still have. Um, and people that watch my show know this one. It's the HTC One M8 all red.
Okay.
It was a
Oh
limited
wow.
edition only for Verizon at the time. This was the time when carriers were still making carrier specific colors, and me
Got
being
it.
on Verizon, I had access to it. But I had just renewed. Back then, we had contracts, right? So I had just renewed the contract for an HTC One M8, and it was the gunmetal color. And I
Oh
was
wow.
at the in Costa Mesa. And they have a small Verizon there across the street of the South Coast Plaza, next to an Old Navy. And I just happened to be passing by there, and I remember I had to do something for the for my account. So I went in there, and I happened to see that they had the poster of it, but I didn't see the phone itself. And at that point, the inventory was basically all run out, because I did ask Verizon,
Wow.
a corporate, when I was on the phone with them before I renewed. It's like, hey, do you have any more red ones? Like, no, we're all out of the red ones. Like, okay.
Wow.
So then I was at this local store. It just didn't even occur to me, because I had already renewed. I couldn't take it back. And then I asked them, it's like, man, that red one's nice. Do you guys even have the red ones anymore? Because they're like all out. And the store
Wow.
guy's like, yeah, we have one left. I'm like, dude, that could be
All
the
right.
last one on earth. I can't renew my contract. So $67 right here. Give me that phone. I'll take it. That was the most like gut reaction I had to a phone. Imagine this $667 back then. Now we're paying $1,200 for a phone, but I bought it. It was a unibody aluminum frame. And
Wow.
I told my wife, who was all Apple, I'm like, I feel like I have more Taiwanese pride than you do, because my wife's Taiwanese, because I support HTC. She supports Apple. But I still have that phone to this day. And with Verizon devices, you can't unlock the bootloader. So you couldn't,
Oh really?
yeah, so you couldn't flash another operating system to this thing. And even though I went to the developer settings of HTC developers at the time, you
Right.
couldn't get an unlock code to unlock the bootloader, because Verizon is the one that locked it, or at least demanded that it be locked. But there's these
Wow.
cool guys online. Shout out to Root Ninja, for finding a way through something called Sunshine app, to be able to do a temporary root on the device. I'm like, I tried it before, it didn't work, and sometime I guess they eventually were able to update it to make it work on Verizon specific devices.
Uh-huh.
Now I have Lineage OS running on my HTC, so it's got more life. I'm like, dude, I can still use this phone. It's like 7 years later. It's my
Wow.
favorite Android of all. The runner up would be the Samsung, um, Galaxy Note 10 in red. So like, dude,
Wow.
I don't know what it is with me in red, because I
Yeah, I
never
was just
considered one
gonna
of my
tell
favorite
you.
colors. But the thing is, when you see a red phone, because we're so conditioned to a black
Yep.
phone, that eventually
Yep.
remember when Apple
Yep.
announced iPhone 4 available in white, like, oh my gosh, let's get the white one. It was like,
Yep.
there's, you mean we can have it any color we want, so long as it's black? And then here comes Apple with white. So to me, HTC was always bold, like, we can do it in different colors. But that was a long
Well, the
time
red
ago.
one from my phone, um, the code red one, it's popular as well. It's not that everyone just want the black one. I just think that we have been conditioned, to think that way. And just to touch on something that you spoke about briefly about your wife, that's one thing that we have in common as well, right? Our wives are
Mhm.
Taiwanese. And then the other thing is that when you were talking about that she supports Apple, I can tell you, out of the very small group of people that I know here in Taiwan, the overwhelming majority of them use iPhones. And I think I know the reason, and that is because of TSMC, right? Um, TSMC is the largest SoC or chip manufacturer for the entire world. And they're the one that produces the iPhones, in China as well. So I guess there's
Yeah.
some kind of pride in that, I guess. But yeah,